Ew, gross. What is this stuff? Emily said, trying to wipe the slime-like material away, at least for a moment before realizing that she was naked, at which point the slime became, well, not as important. "Oh my god, where did my clothes go?" she shouted. "What the hell is going on?" Your guess is as good as mine," I said as I began trying to take stock of the situation. But everything seemed confusing. As I began trying to take stock of the situation, I did so, but far more effectively than I truly wanted to. I didn't just see what was going on, I saw everything that was going on, all at once. It was a complete brain rush. A million contradictory pieces of information stacking on top of each other, one after another. Weight estimates, distance between me and object, target durability, target weight, wind resistance, even the rotation of the Earth, gravitational pull, and airflow. Everything. All just stacking on top of it for everything. Every single object in the room. Everything within range of sight. Every sound. In fact, even how the sound echoed throughout the room was another piece of data, adding itself to the pile. It was hard to cut through, but eventually I managed to slow my brain down enough to pick out the more relevant pieces of information, such as the fact that we were completely surrounded, sitting in the center of this black metal egg that just spread itself open, leaving myself, Emily, and this girl, who I suspect is actually my motorcycle, sitting bare naked in the center of it. What the actual hell? And what's going on with my brain? It's like it's on fire. I can't stop the thoughts. The constant flow of information. It's nauseating. Even information about me. Heart rate, blood pressure, physical injuries or absence of, neural information passage rate. Once again, just more nauseating information. But my mind was able to clarify somewhat as I heard frantic breathing. "What is this? What's going on? Where are my parts? I don't have hands. How can I have hands? I'm soft. Why am I all soft?" she said, looking around frantically, seeming to try to scramble about, as if she was scared of her own body. Every time she saw another piece of herself, she started freaking out just a little bit more. "I don't understand. What's going on? Where are my systems analysis? My programs? I can't find them. Why aren't they showing up? Come on, work. Systems analysis. Weapons operations system," she shouted, grabbing at her head and staring down in a frantic panic. "Core hard drive functionality test. Work," she said, her breathing becoming more sporadic by the second. She looked like she was having a panic attack, starting to look wobbly, tilting in different directions. I reached over, grabbing her by the shoulder and looking her in the eyes. "Titan, is that you?" She didn't respond to me at all. She just kept mumbling. "Systems damage check. Operations program over analysis." I shook her a bit more firmly, shouting, "Titan, look at me!" Finally, she broke away from the mad mumbling for a moment to look at me, terror in her eyes. "Titan, listen closely. I can't control it. I can't make it stop. Nothing's working. Titan, calm down," I said, giving her a very serious look. "You are not malfunctioning. Nothing is wrong. You're just panicked." I can't find my systems." "Titan," I replied, before she could even finish. "You don't have systems anymore. You just got an upgrade. An upgrade? She replied. Yes, Titan. One might call it sort of the ultimate upgrade. Congratulations, you're not a motorcycle anymore. You don't have programs or prompts that you can bring up. Systems. I can't stop the pounding. Why won't it stop? She began shouting. Titan, listen. Calm down. I said. That pounding is your heart. Your heart is pounding because you're panicking. You cannot control that. Your heartbeat, your breathing, these are autonomic functions. You do not have control of them. Just relax and calm down. Your body will do what it's meant to do on its own. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to turn it on or off. It just does it. But you can take control of your breathing if you focus. Breathe when you want to. Slowly. This will help calm you down. Okay, she said as she started trying to slow her breathing down a bit. It took her a few moments, but eventually it looked like she was starting to get the hang of it. Okay, I said, exhaling a bit myself, before noticing that I was still holding on to Titan, and that she was still naked. At which point, I quickly turned around. Yeah, that's gonna need to get fixed. Fixed? You said I wasn't broken, she said, starting to panic a bit again. No, you're not broken. Everything's fine, Titan. Why won't you look at me? She shouted. Titan, your upgrade has some new rules. Rule number 1 is I'm not going to be looking at you, at least in the state you're in right now. Why not? It's complicated, Titan. I'll explain it later. For now, we have other problems. Well, I'll say, this whole thing is very interesting. I expected some changes, but I'm surprised to see that the nanites went full bore and turned the motorcycle into a person. I thought it might just get some cool new features, but it seems that they went full human on it. I wonder what the intention behind that is. Well, I suppose there's always time to find out, Victoria said as she approached, smiling and happy. We've been running scans of the process from out here. Unfortunately, they haven't been faring too well. That egg, just like everything else, seems to block out everything, so we couldn't really tell what was going on inside. I'm actually surprised it happened like that. My nanites didn't have any sort of similar effect, but somehow yours were all keyed to work together. It's a bit disappointing. It means I know less about the process. So, tell me, how does it feel to be amongst the most evolved human beings on the planet? Go ahead, you can be honest, she said, smiling down at us. Well, right now, it feels sort of cold. You know, the whole naked thing. Perhaps you would let us have some clothes. Oh, yeah, you guys are pretty stark naked. I suppose it wouldn't hurt. Goons, bring them some clothes, Victoria said, waving her hand at a few people in the background, whilst a large number of what looked like tech freaks, and not the wearing a lab coat kind. No, all of those seemed to be in the background, shuffling around to different machines. But up front, there seemed to be some new guests that weren't here when I went into the egg. These guys were completely different. Much more like that freak that I took out in the parking lot. silver skin, a lot of them looking like it was melted in places, and many of them having different sorts of weapons affixed to them. It was a freak show, to say the least. After a few minutes, they came back with some clothing and towels, allowed us to clean off the gunk, and put some clothes on. They weren't exactly my style, or even my size, but it was better than being stark naked.